In 1853, Japan opened their trading port to the world again after 200 years. This led to the rediscovery of Japanese art in other countries. The Japanese craft had big impact on European artists. Some were inspired by pieces that had been long forgotten in Japan, while others were captivated by their style and methods. The French deemed this movement Japanisme.
It is important to note what originally caused Japan to close their ports. The Tokugawa shogunate gained authority of Japan in 1603, after years of power struggle and governmental unrest. Previous to their reign, the daimyos, think of them as individual state governments, had been fighting for land for over 100 years. This resulted in the Tokugawa shogunate establishing intense and strict policies, one of which being a halt to any and all trading. Seen as a great way to maintain social control and political stability, this would prevent daimyos in each region from gaining too much individual power, as well as stopping outside influences of Christianity. The most commonly practiced religion was Buddhism. The Japanese feared that the spread of Christianity would make it easy for the foreign powers to take over. The fear of imperialism would keep trading posts closed indefinitely. The preface to the description of imperialism was done in class.
Can't move it!
When Japan's artistry was discovered, European painters like James McNeill Whistler and James Tissot began collecting. Claude Monet also found Japanese printed wrapping paper while shopping. These artists started showing their friends who took inspiration from the culture or subjects of the art. Others embraced the method or style. For example, Edgar Degas tried to imitate the aesthetic into his own personal art style. Japan's influence even took effect in America. Mary Cassatt, an American painter who disliked the standard of art at the time, visited an exhibition and took admiration in the subject of a woman holding her child and began to create a series of artwork inspired by what she saw.
This whole event is a great way to explain how empires and trade networks were a big part of globalization, as you folks talked about during class. After years of isolation, Japan and the rest of the world became more social and economically connected. Within the globalization unit, we talked of the pros and the cons. Majority of the benefits we discussed are tied to modern advances and what we can consume through technology. However, history is for studying the past. So it would be sensible to discuss the advantages of globalization in the past.